What are they?
He's having a terrific year, is Selwood. Danger kick, but good mark in the end. McKenzie.
Play on.
He's a big unit, McKenzie. Nikoski.
Leader, Aaron! Thank you.
They're not zoning here. The Blues are going one-on-one with their direct opponent.
So Nikoski, normally a long kick, and he decides to use that strength. Lacroix was at the back. Lynch created the contest. Hearn has to get it forward. He couldn't. Anderson did well there. Got in his road. McLean probably was a ball for Gibbs. Back to Anderson. Anderson's kick a little bit sloppy, but Robinson's got a bit of time.
Runs on to the wayward kick. Releases Walker. Walker goes to half forward. Satanta, what a mark!
Oh. Satanta, I've got it. The mark's here. No, we're on marking it, mate.
You say what a mark. Mark Wall would have been proud of that one, wouldn't he? Gee, low down to his right and just took it so beautifully.
Walker's been good too, up to 16 possessions, hard running off half-back, not enough pressure on him. The West Coast Eagles defenders, they actually sat back. They let their direct opponents go up the field and they're just waiting for the ball to come back, but they just didn't guard the dangerous space.
Remember, Andrew Walker made his debut at Princes Park against the West Coast Eagles. Took a specky and had a wonderful game, just under 30 possessions. Probably still best remembered for that game, although he's played some good ones this season. So Tadero Halpin lining up at his third then. Steps to 50. Kick is on the way. It's a beauty. So Tata.
He's got to be close to the most improved player in the competition, doesn't he?
Just thinking then, Tim, I don't think he's going to go away. He's going to be around for a few years now. It's not going to be a one-season wonder, is it?
No, well, he's not. But what he does really well is he attacks the ball really hard. He's one of those forwards that loves to be in the contest. A terrific mark then, but his conversion now has become what you'd expect from one of the elite forwards. So in the past, there's been a real problem about the fact whether or not he's going to kick a goal when he gets those opportunities. Now he's nailing them.
Watching Nick Natanui today, you can see why he doesn't get a lot of uncontested possession or marks. Around the stoppages, he plays like a 180-centimetre player. He just hunts the ball. He never gets on the spread and gets himself any easy possessions, something he's going to have to bring into his game in the future.
And Richo, they've put him to full forward for the moment. So that good work from West Coast has been undone in the last few minutes. Carlton with the last couple of goals, and they stretch this lead out again. I'm not sure how you can sort that out. It'll be a ball up.
Thank you.
It's a bit of an advantage having tats when you're in close like that. You can work out who's who, can't you?
Yeah, Amy Winehouse would be handy. She'd make a good footballer.
I think she'd be tough enough, don't you?
I reckon.
So Cruiser to Judd to Scotland. It's a good player, Scotland. To Murphy. A bit of a wrestle going on with Judd and also Selwood. And then Cruiser on the left. Simpson underneath it. Shepherd with him. Garlett, still Garlett, the handball. Simpson probably should have left it for Hadley. He was on the wrong side for him. Back it comes, Prittis down low, all good stuff. Gets it to Ebert. Shepherd, well, he kept his call. Butler, then Carazzo, then to Murphy. And now Judd hooking back to full forward. Front spot Robinson. Prittis searching for it. Cut off by Robinson. And then Shepherd. Brown getting onto it. Good contest. Garlett, Brown, Prittis. Is out in the full, is it? No, out of bounds. Oh, I'm tired.
Good stuff.
Gee, that was outstanding though, wasn't it? The Blues forward pressure, just locking the ball in. The West Coast Eagles, they looked like they'd escaped a couple of times, but again, a desperate lunge here or there, and they locked the ball down.
Judd has put 2 goals. His last kick fell short, as you saw. Rose has got the ball. They've got him. Down goes Hadley, trying to feed it out. Knocked out of there by Betts. Scotland, was he taken high? Falling to the ground. Ill-directed the hand pass. Clearing the zone towards the outer side was Shepherd. First to get there will be Walker. Needed a Shepherd. Not the same bloke, and he got one. Then a terrible kick. Straight to the man who was standing on the 50, and that was Hearn. He finds Natanui. Now, Nick, you've got to kick this one. Doesn't like to kick too much.
That's right. Good boy.
Yeah, well played across the ground. Kennedy goes back and takes the mark. Kennedy with a man running on to the pocket. Now there's a chance for Rosa. Can loop it over the top. Lynch has got it. Lynch back towards the middle. Lacroix should kick it. Get some elevation. Goal umpire goes a long way, but he's got the goal.
I really like what Natanui did then, because when he first got the ball, he was the only player, the only Eagle player at that part of the ground. He had to wait. He held on to the ball long enough. He waited for something to eventuate. It was a really good decision that he made in the end, the right one too, to go out wide again. And then that was smart play from Lynch there, just to think his way through that. Just about the forward pressure from Carlton. They've already had 10 tackles inside their attacking 50, just 9 last weekend for the entire game against Hawthorn.
So 2 late goals for Lacroix. 1 in the first quarter, 1 in the second. He takes a rest along with Judd and Simpson. So intriguing match, 3 goals. You just feel like Carlton are way on top, but one more goal here, like they did in the first, would really get us going. Here's Murphy on the left foot to half forward. Butler building it away. He's just one of a half a dozen Eagles, or add Judd, make it 7 that played in that premiership in 06. Out there today.
So that was a poor kick though from Selwood. Kennedy had plenty of space inside him and the kick went over his head. That's the one that they just have to get better at.
Thornton released Murphy, who releases Carazzo, and Carazzo with a careful kick to half. Oh, free kick now against Scott Selwood.
Thank you.
The golden rule is if you take the mark, everything's sweet, but if you don't, you're gone.
Hands in the back.
Yeah.
For a start.
And I think it's just the end result that counts, Tim, whether you hold it or not.
That's right. The interpretation's changed a little bit over the last 2 years.
Well, we saw Paul Pleasure here on that Friday night match, didn't we?
Can you go back a bit further here, Robinson? Have a look at this.
He's off the long run, but this would hurt. Just kick 1-1, Robinson. He struck it, hadn't he? Oh, wow. Great kick.
Kicked 2 goals now. Mitch Robinson had 9 possessions. There's a free kick again, and that's right. You've got to mark those ones. If you're going to fly like that, you've got to put the hands in the back, then you've got to take the ball.
Pretty dumb footy for a defender, isn't it? Half-back fly.
Yeah, look, I think he just got committed too early to the contest.
Not high percentage stuff.
If we're playing charades, the answer is the Dow Jones. He comes crashing down to Selwood. Didn't touch the footy. And the margin is suddenly out to 24 points. Robinson, geez, good player, Robinson. We liked him when we first saw him, and he hasn't gone away with his career, although it's been a little hilly at times.
That was a
Selwood.
Magnificent tap there from Natanui.
Selwood drives it inside the forward 50. Going back with courage, the Carlton player Anderson, and he tracks it to the boundary line.
Just watch this again. This is the centre bounce tap work here from Nick Natanui. Over the top of Cruiser, down to Selwood. No space there. That is just beautiful ruck work. Soft.
Cruiser and Natanui again got over the top, and then Ebert squeezing it out. Good stuff, Thornton there. Got rid of Kennedy under pressure. Walker just had to search. Almost ran it over. I don't think it would have mattered. Anderson. Gibbs, the 1-2 with Cruiser. They've been linked a lot in the past, haven't they? Those 2 number 1s. And Gibbs on the left.
Gee, that's a good kick.
Yeah, Betts was quickly onto it too.
That's the difference, isn't it? The skill level, the execution under pressure. Carlton can execute, and for the best part, despite their best efforts, the Eagles can't quite. In defence, Lynch trying to crash his way through. He's claimed in the opposite direction by Garlett, and that's holding the ball. What good work by the little speedster. Garlett just stood his ground. Lynch was bearing down, and he finishes up with the football. 45 seconds to half-time. 24 points the difference. Can they get a late goal? In the first term, the Eagles did. Jumping high was Brown, goes after the footy, diving in is Robinson again, claimed by McGinnity. And that's Robinson's arm working overtime, but he did drag it in, says the umpire.
Play on.
Butler, out of defence, but drives it towards the outer side, up in front, Embley, and the ball spills across the boundary line. Clock stops at 14. Of course, the other side of the coin is, can the Eagles get a late goal and finish the term as they did the first? Important takeaway here. Selwood anxious to follow his man past the ruckman. Pritter so often first hand to the ball after any sort of clearance. Taken across the line is Kennedy. So we're down to 4 seconds. And almost impossible now for the West Coast Eagles to score. A long way from goal. Nat Nui and Cruiser, they're oblivious to the clock. Nat Nui tries to hook it behind. Wait for the siren. Half time on Sunday.